The AFC team you trust the most.
Ooh.
I'm going to throw that out since it's being talked about quite a bit this week, and then give you an answer, and the answer undercuts the question to begin with.
Okay. So let's just look at the AFC right now, Rich.
Yes, please.
As we've been talking about all week, 11 teams have at least 5 wins.
Yes, sir.
None has more than the Tennessee Titans are at 7. Baltimore has 6. Everyone else has 5.
Right. And the 5-win teams have either 3 losses or 4. There's
your
4,
3-loss
5,
teams.
and 3 teams,
Yeah, your
and there are
3-loss teams.
5 and 4 teams.
Chargers, Bills, Raiders, Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Your 4-loss teams, obviously they haven't had a bye yet. Patriots, Chiefs, Browns, Bengals,
Broncos.
Broncos.
Don't forget the Colts, everybody. The Indianapolis Colts at 4-5, just 1 game out. But in the 12th spot, deep in the sniffing it column.
They would have to go on a pretty big run here.
So which one do you trust the most?
Trust the most?
Trust the most.
Oh, my goodness.
And you say, you know what? If I had to guess, I'll go with this one.
I want a team with a really good coach.
Okay.
I want a good team with a really good quarterback
Yes.
who doesn't turn it over.
Yes.
And I want a team with a reliable defense
Yes.
and run game.
Yes.
The team I trust the most is the Tennessee Titans.
What about you over there, sir? TJ Jefferson.
I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the AFC, but
Oh, my gosh.
You don't have an AFC team? I thought you'd have an AFC team.
no, I only have one team in football. All right, you jerk. You know what? I'm going to go with the Ravens.
I thought that's where you were going to go, Chris, but you're such a Patriot honk, you can't bring yourself to use the R word like that. Because you want to talk about a run game, you want to talk about a quarterback who's not turning it over very much. And one thing about the Lamar MVP candidacy this year, as opposed to the numbers that are better and very similar to his MVP campaign of 2019 through the first 8 games, is in 2019, nobody thought he could come back in a game where they were down by 10 points or more.
Right, exactly.
Nobody thought that.
He's gotten a lot better as a passer. That's
He's
why.
3-0 in those games this year. He was 0-6 since coming into the league as a starting quarterback. In those games coming into this year, he's now 3-0. So you choose the Ravens, and you choose the Titans, Chris?
I'm going Titans.
You're correct, Chris.
The Titans.
You are.
Oh.
Sometimes you just got to stare at the situation and realize what you're looking at. That's what we're looking at with the Titans. If Derrick Henry was active, I think everybody would just not even bat an eyelash. But honestly, sometimes everyone's just like, it's Tennessee, it's the Titans. And you just overlook the fact that they're the Tennessee Titans. They're not in the Northeast and the East Coast bias, and they're not on the West Coast where we are and all that business. And sometimes you just got to take a look at what you're looking at. And what you're looking at is, in my mind, a Coach of the Year candidate, Mike Vrabel. He can coach football, man. And he is just he's got his guys smart. There are smart football players out there. They're situationally smart. And I know that's associated with someone who's supposedly from the Belichick coaching family tree, but he was never on a Belichick coaching staff.
No, he busted his chops at Ohio State.
And then went to Houston.
Yeah.
And obviously coaching with a coach who was on the actual Belichick coaching tree, but he's a Belichick player. He's the guy who knows the rule book, who can outsmart anybody based on what the rule book is. He's locked in, man. Players dig him. And he's a player's coach, but you know that he's laying down laws. And the defense is getting better. Better. Simmons, Byard, right? Back end, front end. Front end, back end.
I think prior to Sunday night, I would have said the Ravens. But coming into L.A. the way they did without Derrick Henry, and they just beat up the Rams.
Physical.
They got in Matt Stafford's face.
They're physical.
And that game really wasn't close on
They're
Sunday
hitting
night,
you.
so that kind of took it from
They
me.
can take some pieces out of you.
Yeah.
And then you look at their schedule. They can beat up the Saints this week if the Saints don't have Kamara at 100%, as they apparently may not have. And, Simeon is coming maybe undermanned. I mean, look out. Then they're home for Houston. What a big game at New England. Home for Jacksonville. At Pittsburgh will be the old slobber knocker. That'll be fun. Short week San Francisco visit to kick off Week 16 on a Thursday night. Home for Miami at Houston. Where are the losses going to come from? And they're in front right now. They're in front right now.
The only ones I could see on that list at New England, at Pittsburgh. Those are the only real potential trip ups.
Again, Sunday Night Football. Tirico was sitting there at halftime of the Titans beating up on the Rams. At one point,
New England's a playoff team. Don't laugh.
Don't laugh.
I'm just saying it was funny that you threw New England in there out of all those teams.
Those are the only two teams where they can lose.
I would definitely agree with that.
What are the other ones?
I think the Steelers could beat the Titans.
Did you hear me mention the Steelers?
I must have missed that because I laughed at the Patriots. Sorry.
I said New England and Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
On Sunday Night Football, Tirico asked Dungy and Breeze at halftime of the game that the Titans were beating up on the Rams. Hey, which AFC team you're looking for? And Dungy goes, there's a ton of them, I guess, but I'll have to choose the Ravens. And it's just like, just look at the television set.
Yeah, we're watching.
Because sometimes I don't know if people think that Tannehill can go the distance.
I think
maybe that's what it is, or the
defense,
the defense isn't that stout, but they're getting stouter.
I think also when you lose a guy that you've been touting as perhaps the best player in the game, you lose someone like Derrick Henry. I think a lot of people kind of feel like your team isn't going to be able to survive that type of loss.
It's significant. You can't replace the guy, but
he's
you
the
have
diminisher, Rich.
I know he's the diminisher, but I don't know how diminished they're going to wind up being as a team if Adrian Peterson can come in, and I know that's a huge ass F with a 36-year-old. But as you know, on NFL Game Day morning, Thanksgiving Day show that's in a couple weeks from today, as a matter of fact, we get a chance to mulligan on our Super Bowl pick.
You gonna swap
and I had
out?
Chiefs. I had Chiefs and the Bucks. Absolutely swapping off the Chiefs. I'm hopping on the Titans right now, barring anything else.
You're keeping Bucks?
Oh, yeah.
Brady Vrabel?
Excuse me. What did I tell you last year after I chose the Bucks preseason to win it all and then hopped off them on Thanksgiving because they were 7-5 and then hopped off them going into the playoffs
abandoned them
for the Packers?
I get it.
What did I tell you? I'm never doing it again.
I understand.
I'm not going to do that again.
You can't. No way.
Okay.
Not with TB12.
Correct. I am not going to do that again. So, correct. I'm not getting off him.
Nope.
I'm down. I believe you.
And just knowing Derrick Henry, he'll be back.
I don't know, man.
I know that. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.